Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much for that nice applause. I appreciate it very, very much. Governor Clements, Mayor Strauss, distinguished people on the head table. You know, it's a great, great pleasure for me to be here today. And I'm especially thankful for all the wonderful people who made this day probably the most exciting and the most meaningful day of my life. I don't believe in my wildest imagination that I ever thought that this would happen to me today. And that makes it nicer even at that. Of course, your outflowing of love and concern, you know, through your letters and telegrams and all the articles that have been written is something that my family and I will never forget, because it's something that we really will cherish in the years to come. I know that I'm not worthy, really, of the things that have been said about me today, by any measure. I've been blessed, you know, to be a part of this community and a part of the Dallas Cowboys. It's been an experience for me that I wouldn't trade for anything, because it's meant so much to me. And I want to take this opportunity to make a personal thanks to the staff that put this together. I know much has been said already about them, but boy, personally to me, I think it was a great, great sacrifice to come out here on a beautiful day when you have an off day and come out and put on something like this. And I'm just delighted to thank all the people involved. Willa Dorsey is one of the beautiful singers of our time, and the music behind here with all these people is something really special for us today. Thank you. Of course, when you have an opportunity to have some success in life, there's so many people that share that with you and help you accomplish what you accomplish. I know personally the Lord has meant a great deal to me. I became a Christian 1 year before I took over the Dallas Cowboys. And he's been through with me all these days that I've had here in Dallas, and has meant a tremendous thing to me. Of course, my family, I think we all recognize our family play a major part in our success. They're the ones that have to stand by you in the good times and the bad times. And of course, I've had a wonderful family. You've met my wife, Alicia, already. Out here is my son, Tom. Tom, why don't you stand up? And also my daughter, Lisa Childress, and her husband, Gary Childress. And of course, my oldest daughter was under the weather today, and she couldn't get out. But her husband, Eddie Phillips, is here, and my two grandchildren, boy, that's something else. Ryan is 8 years old, and Jennifer, of course, is 5. And they're probably... If Eddie has still lasted this long with those two kids, I'll have to give him a medal if he can keep them going this long. But they've been really important to me. You know, the Dallas Cowboys have been my life, really, the last 29 years. And that's the reason I'm probably standing here today, because there's so many now that Dallas Cowboy organization has contributed to my success. The most important thing in a football team are the players. And you met some of them over here today, the Dallas Cowboy players. But there are others that operate in an organization to make it successful. The late Clint Murkison, who brought the Dallas Cowboys to Dallas. And, of course, Tex Schramm, who had such a big part of building the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. And, of course, a head coach cannot operate without assistant coaches. I've had so many outstanding ones. I have one coming back here, Dan Reeves. Dan, why don't you stand up? It's close to down to there. Dan Reeves. And, of course, I have many others that's contributed greatly to our success as the Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, the thing that really makes you what you are in football are your fans. They're with you a lot and they're against you a lot, but they're fans. And that's the thing that makes us the America's team. It's not so much what we did, it's the fans that we had, you know, across the country. They would come out when we went in other cities, and that's where they came up with that particular name. But the fans are so important. We had a great 29-year run. We're going to have a lot of memories from that 29 years. I know I will. I can remember when we first came out as a winning football team in 1966. I'll never forget Bullet Bob Hayes and Don Meredith with their great speed and the great excitement we had in Dallas in there. Of course, I'll never forget the Green Bay games in '66 where we were down on the 1-yard line, 1st and 1, and we jump off sides and we get beat 35-28. Or the great ice game up in Green Bay where we had the game under control and, oh, my good friend Bart Starr made the quarterback sneak to beat us in the last minute. Those are the things you never forget. And, of course, I won't forget the first Super Bowl we went to, because you remember, you might have been a few of you here that thought we couldn't win the big one. After losing a couple to Green Bay, you remember we became the team that couldn't win the big one, you know, for a couple of years. But I remember when we went into Baltimore, and I remember we went down to the last play of the game, and they kicked the field goal that beat us. And to see Bob Lilly, who picked his helmet and threw it about the length of the football field because of his disappointment. But that showed you how much it hurt us to lose that ball game. And, of course, the next year we came back, and we won the Super Bowl against Miami with the sorry. And, of course, we did it with the silent man. If you remember, Dwayne Thomas. Is Dwayne here? Hey, Dwayne Thomas here, right? Hey. Of course, Dwayne called me the plastic man. He's probably right. But we're great friends today. Dwayne Thomas, thank you. And, of course, I don't think anybody that followed the Cowboys in the 70s would forget the 75 team. Remember, we had what we call the dirty dozen rookies, you know, that year. That was probably my most enjoyable year. Nobody expected us to win. But you remember we took Pittsburgh down to the wire in the Super Bowl 10, and they finally beat us 21-17. Those are the things that are really important to us. And then you remember the other Super Bowl that we won, and you saw Harvey Martin and Chuck Halley were named the most valuable players in the game. And that wasn't exactly right in that Chuck Halley was the most valuable player at Miami, and, of course, Randy White and Harvey was the one in the other game. But we were probably the only team, George, that ever had defensive players, the most valuable player in Super Bowls. I don't think that happens very often. But those are the great years that we're going to remember. But the thing that I will remember most, really, is being able to be a part of this great city we have in Dallas. You know, not many coaches get to raise their kids, you know, in a city. We move around a lot. But the fact I've lived in Dallas for many years, actually more than 29 years, and my family was raised in Dallas, you know I have a special place for this city. And I hope I'll have many more years in Dallas, doing whatever the Lord wants me to do in there. But I really want to thank the mayor for her efforts in bringing this thing off today. And I really appreciate the press. You know, I felt like through the years I've had good relationships with the media and the press, with most of them. You know, there's always a couple you don't, but if everything was perfect, then it would be too nice. So, but the press, I think that we've had a great relationship, and I've appreciated them. I've really appreciated them in the follow-up and the lead-in to this day today. And it's been a great day for my family and I. And I don't know what else to say. You just have to ride in a parade down that street and see in the faces of you people, to really, you're overwhelmed. You don't know what to say. I mean, you don't know that it's happening. You kind of choke up a little bit as you go down there because the people have meant so much to you through the years. And I'm just thankful that I had a great career in Dallas, and I'm just thankful for this day. I do want to make a presentation, if I could, right now to the mayor. I've authorized in honor of this occasion, to benefit the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, a limited edition of the Leroy Neiman public prints that bear my signature on them. But I also have set aside 300 of these posters or these prints, which I'll personally autograph. And I want to present to the mayor the #1 in this 300. Mayor, if you would step forward, Charlie will come up here. And I'll probably never be in another parade. I may never be in another press conference again, but when I see you on the street, I'll sure say hello to you. Thank you very much.